Can you see that? That right behind me, right over there. This here. There's another one right over there, but you might not be able to see that. Anyway, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So, lovely people, welcome back to the channel, and you know that sound is just as important as visuals when it comes to making videos. I mean, you can have a pretty face, you know, and like this one, and a fancy camera, but if the audio quality is bad, nobody's gonna stick around to watch your videos. So in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how I sound treated this YouTube studio, and I hope that this will be both fun and educational. You learn something. So basically, this is an extra bedroom in this house. It's about 4 meters by 4.8 meters, and it's where I film all my videos. Now, let me tell you, the acoustics in this room were terrible. They still are, but they are much better than they were once I sound treated the room, you know. Now, there are different methods of sound treating a room, but I chose to make DIY sound panels, and here's why. They're affordable, they're easy to make, and they look, you know, pretty darn cool. A sound panel is basically a wooden frame filled with a sound-absorbing material and covered with a cloth. For my case, the wooden frames, I had to just get a local carpenter to make them because, you know, it was cheaper and less stressful, and I don't have the tools that are needed, you know, something to cut the wood and maybe screws, drill or something like that, and some extra space for that. But this is something that you could probably just also do for yourself. But if you live in a place where the labor is not that expensive, just get someone to make the panels for you, then you can do the rest. Then for the sound absorbing material, there are many options out there, but I chose to use Rockwool with a density of 25 kgs per cubic meter. One roll of 5 meters in length was enough to make 10 panels. But if you compare the price of buying these things pre-made versus actually making them yourself, you'll notice why I went this route. Anyway, the advantage of using Rockwool is that it's highly effective in absorbing sound, but the downside is that it's itchy as heck. So make sure to wear a mask and some makeshift gloves like you can see me doing over here, because you don't want to come into direct contact with those Rockwool fibers. Once the frame is filled with the sound absorbing material, you need to cover it with a cloth. I used some cheap cloth that I bought locally, and I used a staple gun to attach it to the sides of the frame. Now, not all fabrics are suitable for making acoustic panels, so make sure that one that you choose is lightweight and breathable. You know, you could through it. Like linen, for example, is a good material for this kind of job. Finally, I attached a string to the back of each panel to be used to hang them on the wall with hooks. I actually used some of these plastic hooks which have some nails that you nail into your wall. They are quite handy. I got them on AliExpress, but I'm sure they're available locally. And all I did was basically just measure suitable distances between the panels and heights from the ceiling to the top of each panel, and just make sure that they are kind of level before installing them. And folks, that was it. The difference in sound, especially the reverb, you know, the echo in the room before and after installing the acoustic panels, is like night and day. Now I can film these videos with less worry about echo or background noise. So if you're a YouTuber, a musician, or just someone who wants to improve the sound quality of your YouTube home studio, I highly recommend making your own DIY acoustic sound panels. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed for more fun and educative videos like this one. Also, let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like a full tour of this room. See you in the next one, and as always, no pressure.